time for 28mm World War II action. Will you recreate history or reshape it your way? On the Bolt Action Hub at beastsofwar.com. Become a general of mighty armies at the Kings of War Hub. Take command of elves, dwarves and orcs in this game of massed fantasy combat on beastsofwar.com.
Hello everybody, I have been joined by Jack, Caesar and Alessio Cavatori from Riverhorse, and today, I'm sure you can probably guess, we're talking Highlander. Alessio, you're going after one that's kind of near and dear to my heart here. What's the game?
Well, it's near to my heart too. I mean, this is a film that 1986. I was the right age, and I was, it was great to see it. Great music, fantastic.
Jack, what's your own thoughts on Highlander? Is this one that you grew up with? Were you exposed to it?
Well, I wasn't actually born when it when it came out, but
I was born in '86 and I know Highlander.
But yeah, no, it's definitely it's a classic, a cult classic, if you will.
Yeah. So we have a game then. What way are we playing this game? What's the actual run through of the game?
Well, Jack will talk you through the rules in detail because he's done most of the writing on this. I'm too important. I do high-level design and then let other people and annoy them all the time and go, no, change this, 10% more cool, kind of thing. But basically, we started from the principle that obviously we could count how many times we can say this, but there can be only one, right? So it's an elimination game. You want to be the last man standing, or the last immortal standing.
Okay, and do we start from the gathering, or do we start from before then, or how does it run?
So you start in ancient times, before I guess not before the dawn of man, but different times for different people, and each choose a character. So we have all of the sort of classic immortals from the movie.
Dibs on Ramirez, best character.
I think Kurgan is better.
Then each character has three stats and a special sort of ability that they use during the game. I don't know if you have a close-up.
I should have some images that you guys have sent through to me. Hopefully technology does not fail me right now, because otherwise this is going to be very embarrassing. So, and so we have, as you've said, the classic miniatures. So who are these five?
So in the middle there, we have Connor, Connor and the Kurgan, the sort of two last standing in the continuity of the movie, but obviously in the game it can go different ways. Then we have, going from left to right, we have Fasil, the man that fights in the first scene.
Yeah, the man who watched the wrestling, was so disappointed he went down to the parking garage and cut his own head off.
Exactly.
That's right.
With his Toledo Salamanca. Then we've got Ramirez, second to last. And finally we have Castigear, who is sort of Connor's friend from the Renaissance.
Yes, those parties, you don't party like you used to, lads. Okay, so the game is coming to Kickstarter, yeah?
Yes.
And what's the hope with that? Are you guys planning to really expand out this game for people to have a lot of fun with? Or?
Well, there's a lot of scope for expansion, and we're really happy to say that, as well as obviously these characters and their earlier versions, or more modern versions. For example, we could go into Connell in his. Well, you could have Connell and Kurgan in there, in the jewel at the end, in the silver cap gear, but also we can expand on their backgrounds. So going to, I don't know, Ramirez says he's not Spanish, he is Egyptian.
Oh,
so we could go
don't
there.
Do it to me.
And so on and so forth. So we can explore these guys, but also we felt we got the permission to go possibly into other immortals, because of course there've been hundreds of these guys, maybe thousands, who knows? But we have, if things go really well, we can actually expand it further.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I know you guys are working with Studio Canal on this one, so again, it's working with another big movie studio. It's something I always wonder, what is it like to work with these studios?
Should I take that?
Well, it's different for every studio. Studio Canal have been very helpful. They've been very open to allowing us to run with the idea. We've brought in new immortals. We've sort of expanded on the story of the immortals in the in the movie.
Okay.
This is based off of Highlander, the movie,
Of course.
not Highlander 2 or the animated series
Or the anime. Or the comic book, or any other number of ones where there could be only one, but there were only some franchises of this.
which I consider non-canon personally. But so they've allowed us to sort of build on that sort of original and add our own spin to.
So basically, people on the Kickstarter, whenever it goes live, need to watch it like a hawk, see what the next stretch goals are, and if they like it, push for it. Yeah.
It would be very exciting to get into the, this obviously would be a homage to the film, to the main characters in the film, but if we can then push it and stretch it into making our own IP, we have some very interesting concepts already, of course, and miniatures.
I'm rubbing my hands with glee at seeing this piece of IP get a new breath of life from you guys at Riverhorse, because it's one of those movies. Growing up now, it was released the year I was born, but growing up, it was sort of that video that I always saw at the video store, and it was just like, can I rent that one, Mummy? No. And then I got a little older. Can I rent that one, Mummy? No. Got a little older. Can I rent that one, Mummy? Fine.
It's got swords in it and sword fights. Yes. Yes. Yeah, I was 14 when this came out. So, as I said, I was the right age for that.
All right, let's cycle on through some of the other images we have here. So what are we seeing here? This is your main character board, yeah? Yeah,
so this is sort of the core of the game you can think of. So there we have our character sort of sheet at the bottom, the Kurgan, in this example. And you can see he has 3 stats, cunning, power, and influence. Cunning is how clever and they're able to outwit the other immortals they are, so the Kurgan isn't particularly... doesn't have much finesse.
He's not subtle.
However, he does have a lot of power. Power is the stat you need to win the game. So however you play the game, you will end with a duel, and you will roll off your power against someone else's power. It will come to a sword fight, and you need to beat the other guy. So the Kurgan has a stat up there at the beginning. And influence is sort of how much money and political sort of sway that character might have. So some are barely known, like the Kurgan. He's just a random sort of murderer.
Yeah, well, he's kind of on the fringes of society. Just he doesn't really engage with people. He's just like, no, mortals, I don't care about you. I will quite happily stab you as soon as
Whereas someone like Russell Nash would have spent, he was rich and antique dealer, and he spent
building
time
connections.
Giving money to himself in the future.
Okay, so I'm seeing allies here. Holy man, is this like followers you can bring along with you?
Yeah, so throughout the game you'll explore a few decks. So there's 2 decks. There's the hunt deck and the encounter deck and the era deck. So the era deck is sort of the passing of time, and you're laying low if you're sort of going through that and not particularly hunting other people. You're living peacefully, and so you can gain allies and equipment and sort of give yourself a leg up. Cool. You can also live lives. So allies, weapons, and lives are sort of the three things you can gain. So sort of allies are in this way, they're sort of transient. They go away because obviously you're living for thousands of years.
Of course.
They're mortals. Your weapon, however, stays with you throughout the ages. And finally, your lives are sort of the many lives you've lived, and these change your core stats. So you see there, he's got 2 pluses on his power. So that power is a D8 to start off with, and those 2 pluses make it go up to a D10, then a D12, which is the biggest die.
Okay, so we're using the sliding polydice system then.
Of course, which is Riverhorse Games.
It's a very, very nice system. It's nice to see it properly worked in here. So I'm very content with that.
So sort of however much of an advantage you give yourself, and the game is mostly about trying to gain an advantage when you're when you're behind, and when you're in front, trying to force someone to fight you and beat them up.
So that's whenever you're going to start hunting down other players.
Yeah. So
as you hunt them down, actually, if you defeat them and behead them, then the quickening, the energy they have accumulated, you kind of gain that, and basically you build up your energy, which will help in the final duel, as well as your skill with a sword.
Very cool. Okay, moving along to the next image we have here. What is this? Is this just running through how a duel works?
Yeah, so we've throughout most of the game you're trying to sort of gain allies, gain lives, gain weapons, but at some point you are going to have to fight each other. And the fight is very simple. You roll off on power. and then you choose whether you're going to re-roll that dice by spending your quickening tokens that you've got by murdering other immortals, or well, mostly by murdering other immortals.
You see, I like the fact that you're not just saying, "Oh no, you killed him in duel." No, it's you murdered him.
Oh yeah, well, specifically behead. And so you roll off, and basically after you've chosen your re-rolls and you've spent your special powers and you've all used every trick in the book to try and win, someone will have won, and the person who wins draws a fate card, and those basically could be something just generally bad, like you lose a quickening token, you lose an ally, he jumped in front of you, or one of these is you are beheaded, you're dead, gone.
So losing a duel doesn't instantly mean you're gone.
It doesn't mean you're gone, but every card except the beheaded card is discarded after it's played. So the deck gets smaller and smaller and smaller after every fight. So it gets more and more risky.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you see that they meet several times in history, and not every single time they end up killing each other. You know, they carry wounds from previous encounters, and they developed. And each character has a obvious special ability that is unique to the character. So they all playing a different character will give you a different spin to the game. The swords again twist the abilities that you have. So the characters with the lives and the allies and sorry become very different during
very cool.
the game.
Well, I mean, like if I quickly look at Ramirez here. He's experienced, so I start with 2 additional quickening tokens. So that just gives me a little starting bonus to get up and running early.
Because you're ancient, you started probably in ancient Egypt, and that means you had time to acquire a lot of quickening by defeating other people.
Yes.
Maybe not necessarily murdering.
Or looking at deer for a while, or however else they...
Oh god, that monster.
Getting struck by lightning. There's many ways to get quickening. Not all
like,
of them are.
from the sound of it, it sounds as if the game is going to be absolutely fantastic. So is this just a basic layout of what's coming in the box then?
Yeah, so this is our sort of first thing from the pledge. So this is before any stretch goals and things. This is just the sort of core game, if you will. So we've got the 5 characters that we've shown you, all of the cards and everything that you need to play the game. We're hoping that more stretch goals will add more cards, more miniatures,
more dice,
to make the game sort of to add variance into the game and make sure every sort of game is different.
Well, it sounds cool. Now, you've actually got the 5 miniatures from the core set here. I assume these are prototypes, so I'm going to be very delicate as I touch these, because I don't want to break them.
Yes, don't breathe.
Okay, so let's have a look. So the detail on these is actually really, really nice. Now, the one challenge I can see you guys facing instantly, everybody in this game has a sword. So
It's,
that's going to be something just to be very
well, they're
careful
also we've worked hard to make sure that they are human scale and keeping to life character images, which means that we're trying to keep away from that big, thick
the heroic skill stuff.
scale, hands the size of heads and things like that.
Yeah.
Also, the manufacturer we're working with, is very good. They're very good at PVC manufacturing, and of course these, because they're going to be PVC, they're going to be slightly more forgiving, of course, in terms of flexibility of the material. So, so well, hopefully it will not be broken swords everywhere. Yes, indeed.
Well, this is something I'm very impressed with. Even on these, you've captured the feel of the character really, really well in each of the sculpts that I'm seeing here. So I am looking forward to seeing what the final production piece looks like. Like, the ancient Kurgan is just so nice.
The sculptor Luigi Terzi is we've worked with him before and just love his work.
Yes, he's very good at capturing, both the character and the facial features.
Now, there's the thing as well. Because you're actually working with the movie franchise, the characters, I'm guessing you actually have to get in touch with the agents and get approval for the likenesses.
That's very much. You have to obviously run past the studio everything that you do, because obviously they don't want you to misuse the IP.
Of course. But again, it's nice to see you guys stepping into it, because I mean, like, if it's something like this that I know, Alessio, you say if you've grown up with, it's something that's near and dear to your heart. You're not going to want to misuse the IP. You're going to want to make it as cool as you can to maybe bring in a new generation into the Highlander universe. Right, well, everybody, the last thing to actually say is keep an eye out for the Kickstarter. This is one that I'm going to be biting my knuckle going, do I need to eat this month? Because I might go heavy on this one just because of the subject matter. Drop your comments in below for us. Tell us, what characters are you hoping to see? What direction are you hoping the guys are going to take with the game? And, well, basically, what's your earliest memories or favourite quotes from the Highlander?
Go ahead and check out our other content on screen now, and be sure to check out beastsofwar.com for the latest gaming news and gaming Let's Plays. And while you're at it, why not hit subscribe and remember to ding our dong. Go on, you know you want to click it. Go on.